Did you miss me? I guess not. Anyway, hello. I have missed you guys so much. It has been so long since I have recorded an episode. At one point, I did try to log back into my account. I couldn't even log in. But somehow I got it together and I'm back. And I had to come in, and this is an old series that I'm about to talk about, but it just got me so fired up. I had to speak on it. And shout out to Growth, because this author, I have talked about her before, and the series that I talked about before, I loved it. The writing improved tremendously. But this was because if you have a Kindle and you use the Kindle app, they'll suggest books to you. And I didn't know till I started reading. I was like, this is completely different from what I read from her before. And come to find out, this was her earlier work, and she says it's a re-release. And like I said, shout out to Growth. It's much better, because while the story was good, the writing in the book and how it was set up, it could definitely be better. But like I said, this is Growth. She started from this point and she has gotten so much better, because in the story it switches point of views without telling you until like when you get into the book and you realize who's who, and you can tell which person it is, but it doesn't tell you. It's like there's no name, there's not even a space. It just switched, and it's like, hold on, how did we get here? But like I said, of course she's better now, but I wanted to talk about this series because it made me so mad. Oh, I'm so pissed at these characters. More so specifically the sister. And I hope it's not making me seem male identified, because I'm definitely not. But in this situation, the sister was just wrong. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Now that I done got all my feelings out the way. The series is called My Hood King Gave Me a Love Like No Other. And there's 3 parts, but it's there's a spinoff that's a part of the series, so it's actually 4 parts. But I refuse to read part 4 because it's about the sister and the nigga she ended up with, and I'm just not okay with it. So I'm like, I don't care, and I don't want to read about them and their quote unquote love that they have going on. So anyway, so the story is, what is her name? Indira is a lash tech who is engaged to a man by the name of Javon, and they're kind of going through the motions at this point. She is the breadwinner of the relationship. This man, like, he gets jobs, but it seems like as soon as he gets the job, he's being fired for some reason. And she's okay with that, and she's like, you're my man, I'll take care of you, I'll take care of us, which is not a problem, because if you're in a relationship, there's going to be times where you may be up and your partner may be down, and vice versa. It's a partnership, that's what's supposed to happen. Not a problem, whoop de whoop, whatever. But it's just like, at some point, when are you going to get your shit together though? Because it's like, this was job number 3. This man comes in the house with tears in his eyes, talking about he was fired because of his locks. And like before that, I think it was like an attendance thing, or he just flat out left saying, basically it's always whatever job it is and not him. And I was like, I don't like this, because he don't seem like he trying. I don't care about your tears, I don't care about none of that, because if this is a partnership, why you not helping me out? And it's like, they don't have a car, so they're constantly using Uber. He's borrowing money from her. It's not balanced, is what I'm saying. And I feel like in some way it should be, because relationships, because even if you have a partner that's like a millionaire or a billionaire that we're constantly reading about, where they find this lost soul that they kind of save or whatever, they bring something to the table, or they offer something, or in some type of way. Like, Javon is basically just there because Indira, she's not happy. And it's just like, so what is the purpose of this? So you're not happy with this relationship, but you're sticking it out. Y'all are quote unquote engaged. It's like, a week. No, what was it, like a week or a month? And the wedding was about to happen, but something happens to Javon's dad to where they have to push the wedding back. And so, let me backtrack a little bit. So, Indira is working in her friend's Tokyo shop. It's a hair salon, so where they do hair, lashes. I believe they also do nails as well. So it's like a one-stop shop. And so she's known Tokyo since childhood, which means she knows Tokyo's brother by the name of Bakari. And she's always had a crush on him. You know, she's seen him. They've interacted with each other, but nothing has happened between them. But, you know, now it's kind of like it is a all grown up thing. Like, I've always had this crush on you, or I have always been attracted to you, but I've never acted on it. And so now they're acting on it. And another thing is, and I think I've said this before, where I love fast-paced stories, but in loving fast-paced stories, I think this one was just incredibly, it's not that it was too fast. It was just, it should have been written better or described better to where the fast-pacedness makes sense. Because I think at one point when I was reading it, it's like, you know, these last couple of years, I'm like, years, it seemed like this shit is happening in a week, and it's like, how did we get here? But anyway, so we have Bakari, Tokyo, and they have another half sister where all three siblings, I believe, share the same mom, but where Bakari and Tokyo have the same father. The other sister, and I cannot pronounce her name, has a different father who's Filipino. And Bakari has a best friend by the name of Yazir, who, you know, they work together. But Yazir is also a tattoo artist, as well as the I'm just gonna call her, what was they calling her? Her nickname was Janny. I'm gonna call her Janny. Janny was a tattoo artist as well. So her and Yazir were a couple who broke up and then were just trying to work together. And that was another thing. It was like we got some of their story, but then by the third book, I think there was no mention of the other sister at all. So we don't even know what happened with them. But let me see. In book 1 and book 2, it was this thing where, like I said, she wanted to be just friends. She was like, you know, we broke up. We're not in a relationship because she was basically jealous. It's like, he's a tattoo artist, and he's good looking. So, of course, here come all the women who come to get tattoos just because they want his hands on their body, or, you know, they just want to be around him, and that made her jealous, and it caused a lot of arguments in the relationship. So she thought that it would be better if they didn't have an official title to what they were doing, so, you know, so she couldn't get mad and there were no strings attached, but they were still sleeping with each other. And he wasn't for that. He's like, you know, my baby mama never caused any problems in our relationship. Like, I actually want you to meet my son and be involved with him because he's my son. And if we're going to be in a relationship, you're going to have to be around him. And at first, she was like, no, we not doing that. So he like, so why are you still coming over to my house to have sex with me? Why are you calling me at 2-3 o'clock in the morning and telling me you still love me, you still want to be with me, if you don't want a relationship? And you still, basically, we doing everything that couples do without a title, and I'm not for that. I want to be in a relationship. Like, I'm trying to be an adult about this and tell you how I feel and tell you what I want, and you don't want to do that. So basically, he cut her off. And, you know, she mopes a little bit, but then she finds out that well, no, that was even before then. It was like she put on her big girl panties, she went and got her man, and when she went and got her man, she found out she was pregnant. And he was excited, and she wasn't, because she wasn't ready at that time. She's like, you know, eventually we were going to get there, but with us getting back into this relationship, and then me agreeing to meet your son, being pregnant for her at that time wasn't the right time, but she was learning to accept it. Unfortunately, on the day she was supposed to meet his son for the second time, she had a miscarriage, and that caused her to go into a little bit of a depressive state, because it was like, although she felt like she wasn't ready, she also didn't want to lose the baby either. So then she felt like it was her fault, because she was stressing about, how is this gonna happen, how is this gonna work, and we got this and da 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 and all of that. So she felt like her anxiety and overthinking caused the miscarriage, and Yazir has to reassure her, like, no, that's not it, it just wasn't our time to have a baby, or it just wasn't the right time, period, but it'll happen later, so there's nothing to be upset about, like, don't blame yourself, all that type of stuff. And after they got past that, it's like, we don't hear from them no more, and it's just like, damn, so we won't get no more of their story. Like, do she connect with the baby? Do they get married? What happened? And unless that's in part 4, then I just won't know, because like I said, I'm not reading that story. So now let's meet Tokyo. So Tokyo is the youngest sister. Because what I want to say, Janny is the oldest, because she was here first with the mom with her. Was he her husband? Anyway, with that man first to get with her, and then she was no longer with that man and got with Bakari and Tokyo's dad, who she's still married to at this time, and had those two. So Tokyo is the baby who is spoiled, of course, as the youngest most likely always is. And she's, what do I want to say? No, I think the way the book starts, after we get introduced to Indira, then we learn about Tokyo, who had just spray painted a guy's car because she felt like he played on her top and she didn't like it back when they were messing around, because they weren't even currently messing around at this point. But he tells her, you're gonna pay for my car, and she's like, I bet you I won't. And he gets to talking crazy, and she's like, I'll have my brother get at you, so don't even play with me like that. And so she feels untouchable. And so one night, Indira is working like late at the shop alone. And that was another thing. It's just like, you got this man at home, but you pulling like 12, 13 hours by yourself. Like, make that make sense. But anyway, like, somebody burst into the shop while she's alone getting ready to lock up. And she hears like stuff being thrown around outside. And the guy is like, I chipped my cup. Oh, damn. I chipped my cup. Oh, no. Not the Stanley, Jesus. Anyway, what was I saying? So she was trying to, they knocked stuff over. And then one of the guys, you hear him talking. He's like, I want this bitch burnt down to the ground. Open every door. Make sure you pour gasoline everywhere. We burning this bitch down, because she gonna learn not to fuck with me. And so the other guy is like, this door is locked. The dude is like, bust it down then. Get in there. And that's the room that Indira is in, and she's just praying like, God, please don't let them get behind this door. She couldn't call nobody because she went to go for her phone in her purse, and her phone was dead. And so she just praying like, please don't let them get this door open. But you hear somebody say, what was it? It was either retreat or abort. I think it was retreat. Like, retreat, we gotta go now. And so they leave. And then she hears somebody on the other side of the door, like, Indira, open the door. It's me. And it was Bakari, who, of course they got cameras and stuff, and he's always looking out for his sister. And he sees what's going on, so he rushes over, which causes the two men to run away. And, he's looking out for her. So when Tokyo finds out about this, she tells Bakari, bring me his head on a plate. And Bakari's like, done. And he actually does it. Him and Yazir, they catch up with the guy, what was his name again? Carl. They catch up with Carl, and Carl's current girlfriend, because at first they couldn't find him because I guess he was on the run. But Bakari got to the girl and was like, call him, tell him to meet you at this address, or it's over for you. And if you try to do any funny business, your brain's gonna be splattered on the concrete. Now what you want to do? And so because what, no, her ass was at work. They went and got her from work because she thought it was Carl meeting her. And when she walk out and she see Picard, he's like, do you love your life? Do you want to continue? All right, call him, tell him meet you, and go ahead and get in that car over there. Thank you very much. So anyway, they bring the heads to her, like, there go his head, just like you asked for, and then they get rid of it. Next thing you know, Tokyo meets a guy out of nowhere. It's like this nigga popped up twice, and I don't understand how but see, once again, naive, being catered to and being sheltered, she just thought it was whatever. Because I'm like, you just see this quote-unquote fine man who's so fine, who just courting you out the blue, and you don't find that suspicious? You ain't never seen this man before. He just pop up nowhere. Because he came into the shop first looking for a haircut, and then it was like at the Starbucks, and I was like, my thing is, I don't believe in coincidences. Everything happens for a reason. So you, like, I ain't never seen you before, and I just keep running into you. I would find that weird all of a sudden. But she ain't paying no attention because the man was fine and she just living her life like la-di-da-di-da. Whatever. And he's like, let me take you out on a date. And this is their second time meeting officially, I guess, meeting outside the shop. Anywho, he sends a car for her. It's just real extravagant. And not to say that it can't happen, but I don't know, it just threw me off because it's like, y'all don't really know nothing about each other. You allowing him to send a car to pick you up, because I thought something was unfortunately for me, and this is just how my mind works, I'm just like, you allowing him to send a car for you? I don't know about that, because you need an escape plan if anything happens. It's like you go in with the best intentions, but you always need to be thinking about what if. But anyway, so she meets and before this, she was talking about she was gonna be celibate, because after what happened with Carl, she's like, I just need to relax, no more crazy shit, because she known for putting sugar in tanks and all this type of shit. She just too wild, and ain't no consequences for her actions, because she can always run to Bakari, who of course is going to give his baby sister anything she wants. And so her and this guy, they have sex on the first night. And this is what I mean when I say like not enough details were provided, because it was like they met twice, they went on this date, they had sex that very first night, and all of a sudden here go Tokyo. She dick crazy. She just all about this man. She done fell in love. She want to be up under him all the time, whoop-de-whoop, whatever. And while all of this is going on, Indira and Bakari are sneaking around while she's still engaged to Javon. And so she told Bakari, though, she's like, I'm engaged. We can't do this. But Bakari like, man, I don't want to hear all that. Fuck all that. You gonna be mine, whoop-de-whoop, whatever. And also in the midst of all of this, we have Indira's mom, who is a little thought box, who still looks good for her. I guess it's giving Bernice, like, you're a grandmother, but you still look young and you still being fluid out, so you gonna take it for what it's worth. But she has a 4-year-old son that she is constantly putting off on Indira. And I forgot to mention that Indira had a brother who was killed, and she always felt like her mom, what was the mom's name? Siobhan, she didn't take care of them as children, because like I said, she was too busy basically being like, I'm still young. And if you feel that way, why do you have children? I never understand, like, what is the purpose of having children if you are not going to take care of them? You don't put them on, and then it's like, so you didn't raise your children, you don't really care for them or didn't care for them, but every time your ass needs something, you constantly at my doorstep basically looking for me to be your mother, because I'm giving you a place to stay, I'm taking care of you and my younger brother, and you think you could still run the streets with quote unquote ballers. So how you running around with ballers, but you ain't got nothing to show for it? Ain't no money coming in. Like, you ain't got no house. You ain't got nothing. But just to say that you were with a baller? So what? You had sex with this nigga, he got his nut off, and you basically just left, so you just was a hoe for free? Make that make sense. It don't. And I'm like, I just don't get it. Because I understand, what am I trying to say? Because I feel like it's two separate things. Because if you just want to go out and have fun, that's one thing. But if you trying to make it a lifestyle of, oh, I go out with the rich and famous, you not getting nothing from that. So you get to go out and hang out with them people for a night and almost like fake it till you make it, then like go back to the ghetto, to somebody else's house, not even your own, somebody else's house. That don't make no sense. But anyway, you know, and there she was doing it. Like, you know, basically, this my mom, I can't turn my back on my mom, whatever. But they were living in a 1-bedroom apartment. So when Javon came through the door and saw them, even though this nigga's a bum, nigga bum. That's Javon. Nigga bum. Got the nerve to have an attitude like, what are they doing here? And Indira had to tell him, this my house. Are you paying any bills in this house? That man said no. She said, right. So you have no reign over who comes, who goes, who stays, and who don't. Because, nigga, I could kick you out if I wanted to. Have a good night. Like, basically, that's what she told the nigga. Like, goodbye. And he has to deal with it. But come to, like, Javon wouldn't be Javon if he wasn't a trifling nigga. And neither would the mama. Do you get what I'm saying? Javon and Siobhan were sneaking around behind Indira's back. Noah is Javon's son. And come to find out, Siobhan was pregnant multiple times after that. But Javon, I'm assuming, in borrowing money from his girlfriend, was paying for abortions to happen. But that last time that Siobhan came to the apartment, she was pregnant again. And told Javon, I'm not getting rid of this one. I'm ready to have another baby with you. It's time for you to tell Indira the truth. I don't know why you're stringing her along. You know y'all not getting married. That's not going to happen. So I don't understand why you keep doing this with her. Like, kick her to the curb and be with me and be with our babies. And he looked at her like, bitch, no, I'm not doing that. I don't want to be with you. I want to be with your daughter. So you can cut that out. You know, basically get rid. Which I do. I was shocked at Noah. I was double shocked at the fact that the bitch was pregnant again. But it was just the fact you have been bringing this boy around your daughter. Like, of course she knows that's her brother. But like, do you know that this is also your boyfriend's child? Of course she doesn't. But then Javon, I mean, and it's not, I don't want to make it seem like it's okay, but it's like, he's a man. You literally know that this child is yours. Has been around this child for the last 4 years. And have no interaction with said child. Treat them like they a stranger off the street. Don't pay him no attention. Knowing that's your son. But anywho. One night Javon and Indira go to a strip club, and Javon, his daddy had like a light stroke, but he got better, and Javon claiming that he been taking care of him, whatever. He claimed he has to leave the strip club to take a phone call pertaining to his father, but lo and behold, it's Javon who had texted him like, if you don't come outside right now, I'm gonna tell my daughter that you raped me and was raping me the whole time I've been staying at your house, and that's how I ended up pregnant. So he goes out, and she does that again. She's like, you know, I want to have sex with you right now. We're gonna do it right now because I said so, and if you don't, then basically I'm gonna tell. And I don't understand with people like that. Like, the moment, but people, like, it ain't gonna click in their brain because motherfuckers is crazy at that point. But the moment you gotta start threatening somebody, you should know that the attraction or whatever was holding y'all together is no longer there. Because you feel like you got a threat, like, if you don't do what I say right now, this and this and this is going to happen. I'm going to tear up your whole world. Oh, baby, come here. I love you. Don't you want to go in the car? I wore this lingerie just for you. Like, bitch, you threatening to blow up my whole spot. You think I'm hard right now? Get the fuck out my face. And he chokes her out until he kills her, and then drags her over like by a dumpster and tries to like cover up her body. And he also like takes a brick and hits her with that to try to make it seem like that's the way she died, like it was a random attack or something like that. And he just goes on about his bit. That blew me so bad. I'm just like, this nigga went on with his regular life. He went back in the club like nothing happened with Indira. I'm like, how do you kiss a woman like, oh, my bad, baby, that took longer than I thought, you know, but I got it all under control. I love you. Let's go back. And I'm just like, wow. And then I'm gonna find out, because Indira's at work, she's doing this back and forth thing, because Bakari keeps telling her like, you know, I want you to break up with that nigga. It's over between you and him. Let that be that. And she's like, no, I'm not ready for it to be over. But he's like, end it and end it now. So she's like, okay, I'm gonna do it tonight. But before quote unquote tonight could get here, you know, she at work and Tokyo brings in a woman and is like, you know, this is, her name was Kay something, I forgot, because she's not important. She's like, Kay's back in town, and I want you to do her lashes, you know, we'll do whatever. So while she's doing her lashes, kind of find out that this woman is Bakari's fiance. And that threw her for a loop. She's like, so this nigga wants me to leave my fiance. Lo and behold, excuse me, he has his own fiance. And so, you know, of course, she stopped talking to him. He was sending her text messages like, you know, I'm gonna come pick you up as soon as you're done with work, so just hit me and let me know. And he's not getting no response. So he's like, man, what the fuck is going on with her? Lo and behold, you know, he found out that she found out. So he's like, it's not what you think. You know, I met her about a year ago when my parents were pressuring me to get married, because he's 29 and they want him married before he turns 30. So it was just like a kind of, I'm trying to get them off my back type of thing that now he's regretting it, because he's like, you know, I don't want her, I really want you. And she's like, she wasn't trying to hear it. So basically she's like, you stay with your fiance, I'm gonna stay with my fiance, and that's just gonna be what it is. And he's like, what? And you know, she tried to boss up like I said. He's like, I heard what the fuck you said, but that ain't what's finna happen. And oh, because is this the end of the first book? Yeah, I think so. The end of the first book is finding out that he was engaged. So we start the second book with, she's like, I'm sorry, who are you? She's like, I'm his fiance, whoop whoop. So then we get the ignoring him, we not talking no more. I found out you had your fiance, so you stay with your fiance, I'm gonna stay with mine. And Bakari like, girl, you got me fucked up. I'm ending things with her, which he does, because it's like, I never wanted to be with her. And he tells that to his parents, like, I never wanted to be with this woman. I literally did this because y'all wanted me to, and now that I found a woman that I really love, it's over with her and I'm gonna be with this woman. And you know, he tries to do that whole type of thing, but Indira's not listening. She's like, oh, then Javon is turning over a new leaf. He takes her to this house, like, I bought you this house, you know, I got you this car, like basically trying to show her I'm for real about you. I'm sorry I took money from you in the past. I'm sorry that I lied to you, but you know, this is what I really do. This is who I really am. And I still want to get married, so let's do that. And Bakari's like, what? You playing with me, right? And she's like, no, this is over, whoop de whoop. So he's like, all right, you got that, stay the fuck away from me. And then Indira finds out everything that's been happening, what Javon been up to, and she's sad because she's like, I really left Bakari trying to be faithful to this nigga when it's already been proven that he cheated before. I forgot to mention that in the first part. It's like, not only did he cheat twice already that she knew about, I think she went to a party, the tattoo shop reopening or grand opening, whichever one it was. She in the bathroom, and I never understand why bitches are in the bathroom talking freely. You don't know who's walking in. And the girl just says, yeah, she out there looking dumb. He already done coached me on what to say if she ever call, or, if he got to call me in front of her, just say it's the wrong number. Because that had just happened either the night before or like 2 nights before this grand opening that Tokyo dragged her to. Oh, look at me. That was a double on. No, it wasn't. So yeah, when she got home, she's like, nigga, the bitch was in the bathroom. She told me everything. That same number that you claim that you did not know, like, I already know the whole setup. So then he like, come on, let's call this person, since you think I'm lying, which I did not understand. Because if you believe what the girl said about him coaching her what to say through text message, what you think he taught her to say on the phone? So anyway, he calls her like, this is the number that you text the other night. Can you please tell my girl that you wasn't at this party in the bathroom? And it's like, first of all, you leading this bitch on what to say. So of course you're going to be like, yeah, girl, no, I do not want your man. It was the wrong number. I wish I could go to a party. I'd be at work all day. It was just an honest mistake. And you really believe that? That's the sad part. And it was like, I didn't know if she didn't want to believe it or she was just stuck in the situation and just used to this shit and being comfortable, so she just let it go. But yeah, so anyway, after that was proven and she knew what he did, she left him alone. And then she had to go, well, she didn't have to, but she went to see her god sister, and she broke down everything to her, telling her what's been going on in her life. And the god sister like, why you ain't call me? I would have been where were they, in Atlanta? Yeah, I would have been to Atlanta to be by your side. Like, what are you talking about? And she's like, well, I didn't want you to judge me. She's like, girl, fuck all that, we family. Are we supposed to be family? She's like, ain't no way I would judge you. And she's like, I know you happier with this dude because you smiling, and the way you talking about him in the last 5 minutes, you shown more emotion than the whole time you've been in a relationship with that other nigga. So girl, I'm happy for you. Like, and you need to go get your man. And she's like, nah, he told me to leave him alone. Like, basically it's over. She's like, the guy sister made me laugh. She said, what that mean? Girl, go get your man. Like, basically, like, girl, what? Okay, he said he done. You not done, right? So go get your man. And that's basically what she did. She showed up to his house, and the ex-fiance was there trying to act like they were still together, even though Indira knew that wasn't the case. She's like, girl, y'all not even together no more. Like, get out my face, get out my way. What was it? She found out she was pregnant. So Indira tells, Bakari, like, I'm pregnant, but I'm not sure if it's yours or Javon. Bakari, like, that's my fucking baby. We not doing that shit. Whatever. But backtrack to Tokyo. So the guy that Tokyo met, his name is Adonis. Adonis is actually Carl's cousin. And he was there on a mission to kill her because she killed his cousin. And he knew that she had a part in it. So he was there to kill her. And, while he's doing that, but he comes to find out that she's Bakari's sister. And he's also, quote unquote, falling for her. So he's like, man, I can't do this, or I got to be real careful about it, because I know if I do this to her, then I got to deal with him. And they already got beef. They are like sworn enemies. So when Bakari finds out, because Yazir had been calling him, like, you know, it wasn't no name on it. It's like, you know, he just got into town and we watching his every move. But, you know, basically he should be in and out. Because I think they were like assuming that he was there for Carl's funeral and he was basically going to leave and go back. And that was the first book. The second book, Yazir calls Bakari and is like, you know, he didn't leave. He never left. And actually, we've seen him with your sister, like, multiple times. And so this is Bakari. Bakari goes to Tokyo like, who's this new nigga you've been messing around with? And at first she wasn't saying that. She's like, what? Why is you worried about who I'm entertaining all of a sudden? He's like, who is it? And she didn't want to say nothing. And he's like, I already know who it is. End that shit. And she's like, what? No, I'm not doing that. He's like, you don't have a choice. End it. And she's like, no, I love him. There's nothing you could do to him. And if you do anything, basically, I'm gonna tell on you. And he's like, man, whatever. I'm gonna get that nigga. And next thing you know, the parents are calling Bakari. I swear that's what threw me off. I was like, what? And the daddy is like, you're gonna let this thing go. You know, whatever situation y'all have going on, you're not gonna interfere with your sister's love life. And the whole time, okay, and this is why I'm pissed. The whole reason why I want to talk about this series, because Bakari and, okay, wait, before we even get to Bakari, when Tokyo was talking to Janae or Jenny, whatever they called that damn half sister, when she was talking to her, they both said, like, you know, if you go to mom about this, or if you go to your dad about this, Bakari is gonna be pissed. And she's like, well, for the man I love, I'm willing to do anything. And I'm like, you don't love nothing but this nigga's dick. You don't know nothing about him. Y'all went out. No, at that point, y'all had only went out once. And the rest of that time, y'all wasn't doing nothing but having sex. You was crazy about that nigga's dick. And you literally went against your brother for dick. And Bakari is telling her, like, you don't know this man. End it. You know, basically, I'm killing that nigga. So you might as well end it now. For you be crying over a dead body. But she goes to the parents, knowing that he was gonna feel a way about it. And the daddy sitting there like, you're gonna let this go, you're not gonna interfere with her, do I make myself clear? And while the daddy is going off on him, Tokyo is there, like, crying on her mama's shoulder, trying to play the, what is it, what do I want to say, like, she's putting on the show, like, she's so sad, like, mom, look at what he's doing, he's messing with my boyfriend and I love him, tell him to stop. So, you know, when the conversation's over, he asks the dad, can I go? And the dad is like, yeah. So he gets up, walking away, vowing to never speak to her again. And she gets up and follows behind him. Bakari, you don't have anything to say to me? I'm sorry. But the fact, if I was him, I would have turned around and said, you lucky I'm your brother and not your sister, because otherwise you would be on the floor right now. Get out my face. Because you knew exactly what you was doing by getting our parents involved. You love that nigga that much. Alright. And he walked out. And I would have kept it. I think the thing that pisses me off, because, like, even with that, I was like, yep, I'm on his side. She want to choose something, not knowing the full story. Like, your brother ain't never steered you wrong. But now you ready to go to war. And so he's like, okay, let that be that. So anyway, it's like, as soon as that's over, then she hires a private investigator or like somebody on the team or something like that. Because although Bakari and Yazir have legit businesses, of course, drug dealers on the low. I'm assuming there's somebody in the camp. She gets a folder on Adonis to learn who Adonis is, who he really is, why he's there, and the fact, this nigga bought her a dog, right? And so she's like, well, since you bought me the dog, you can name it. He names the dog after the girlfriend that he has in Dallas waiting on him to kill her and come back to. What was it? Xavier? Yeah, Xavier. So the dog name was Xavier. He was talking to his girlfriend Xavier on the phone because she's constantly calling like, it don't take this long to kill nobody and get back home. So what are you doing? You doing some shit you ain't got no business to. And although he doesn't tell her, he's like, she kind of getting on my nerves with this constant calling. Like, I told you already that it's going to take some time. She's such and such brother. He the king around here. I got to be smart and careful about this. So anyway, when she finds out that he was actually there to kill her and that Bakari was actually right, then she wants to call Bakari like, Bakari, I'm sorry, forgive me. And I'm just like, the fact that he picked up the phone, because when I tell you I wouldn't have answered, she would have been blocked. And I think I forgot. No, I know I did. I forgot to mention how when that whole thing first went down and Bakari and Tokyo were at odds, here comes half sister going over to his house like, you need to stay out of her business and stop pushing people away thinking that you right all the time. But he was right all the time. Y'all just hated the fact that he was right, which is, kind of like me. When people come to me advice or ask me things, I'm right. I honestly want to say 95% of the time. I am rarely wrong when I give my opinions and thoughts on something or what I think is gonna happen pretty soon, because it's exactly what happens. That's all that is. It's just like y'all hate the fact that y'all brother is right and trying to look out for y'all, and y'all just feel like y'all know everything. But anyway, so he, of course, because but I don't know, I just Tokyo would have been on her own. It just pissed me off. So he accepts her apology or whatever and gives her the go ahead to kill Adonis. Why he would do that, I don't know, because I wouldn't trust Tokyo as far as I can throw her. So, she goes to his place like, I'm sorry, I've been avoiding you, let's make up, whoop-de-whoop, whatever. And that comes with his phone ringing with a FaceTime call from the girlfriend, who was once again asking, nigga, what is taking so long? And she's like, yeah, tell her. And that's the end of book 2. And book 3 goes into her shooting him twice, but not being actually able to kill him because she's still in love with him. And he claims that he has fallen in love with her, and that's why he can't kill her either. So they can't kill each other because they're so in love. When I tell you, because I don't have books. I have my phone and I have my Kindle. What was I reading on at the time? I think it was my phone. I wanted to throw my fucking phone across the room. I was like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? This man tried to kill you. You swear you so ruthless. You'll fuck up any nigga who try to cross you. Carl just happened to be entertaining another woman. Probably not even one. I think it was multiple. So Carl was actually cheating or sleeping with other women at the time. This nigga actually plotted from the get-go before even meeting you, before even knowing you, that he was gonna kill you. But you're so in love. You didn't even know that the nigga had a girlfriend in another state. But you can't kill him. I said, this? Oh, I was so pissed. Because I said, it don't make sense. And then when it comes to family, I said, see, was it family versus romantic relationship? Wild. I'm like, all right, bet that up. Because you literally went against your brother. Somebody you have known for 20 plus years of your life. For somebody that you met, what, a month ago? 2 months ago? It wasn't even long before you ran to your parents Talking about tell him to leave him alone. I can't kill. Like, girl, you stupid. Stupid as fuck. But anyway, but then, because if I was Bacardi, I was pissed about that. Like, you couldn't do the one job that I told you to do after you had already snitched on me to our parents. So you still can't do shit. I'd have cut her off again. She would have been blocked again. But of course, big brother got to take care of little sister. He went to the house. That shit was funny. Okay, because after she couldn't kill him, you know, they go their separate ways. She let that man live and went on about her life. But all of a sudden, he depressed. He in the bed. He don't want nobody but Tokyo. He just so in love now. He can't. And I'm just like, what? How did we get here? Just like a page or two ago, he was calling her a bitch, saying the bitch gotta go. And I gotta pull myself together to get ready to kill this bitch. Like, which one is it? It just made me so mad because I was like, I do not understand. But anyway, so what happens after that? So then he shows up to the salon, like, you know, I want to talk to you. And, you know, she screams at him like, you did all this, and this. And I still let you walk away breathing. And you got the nerve to come to my shop. But then girlfriend in Texas shows up and is like, nigga, get up out this bed, because this nigga was asleep. He was depressed. Just like, oh, let me help you. You gonna kill her and we gonna go back home like we originally planned. So they go to her apartment, got the gun. It's like, you know, you about to die and I'm be happy and me and my man can leave. Because she was trying to talk shit to Tokyo. She's like, you know, you're much smaller in person. You know, you got a big mouth for somebody who about to die. And lo and behold, Adonis shoots and kills Xavier and is like, you know, I did that for you because I still love you. She's like, man, I don't want to hear none of that shit. You can get the fuck out. And at that point, there's like banging on the door. She's thinking that is half sister. It's actually Bakari. Now, Bakari had been busy. Like I said, he was trying to get his girl back, trying to get that whole thing situated. And so now he got time to check on his sister. He's like, what the fuck going on? So when that door opened and he see what the fuck going on, and she jumps in front of this man again, like, no, you can't. I said, oh, the way I might have killed Tokyo my damn self, and I'm not playing. Cause it's like, girl, what the fuck? But okay. But so cause Bakari beat his ass. And in the midst of him beating his ass, Tokyo like jumps in front of him like, you know, that's enough. He didn't actually kill me. He killed his girlfriend for me. Like, Tokyo, say that sentence again, baby. He killed his girlfriend for me. The fact he had a girlfriend. The fact that they were in your house with a gun waiting on you. What the fuck are you talking about, Tokyo? So, okay. But still, once again, big brother got to save little sister. So he do. And she's telling him, it was Tokyo and half sister talking about all this hate in your heart. You have to let that go. Bitch, I'm a boss. What the fuck is you talking about? How you think I move in these streets not thinking the way that I do? I would have been dead. Y'all sound stupid. And the fact that you are so comfortable and so fake in love with a nigga that crossed me, I can't trust you. And she's like, you gotta let that go. And Adonis is like, man, I'm sorry. Sorry don't cut it, nigga. You took our drugs and the money that we had at the time, and nigga, you left me for dead. If Yazir hadn't shown up to actually help me, I would have been dead. And Adonis is like, well, I'm the one that told Yazir where to go. It's like, nigga, you shouldn't have had to do that in the first fucking place. But that's why I said I'm not reading part 4. I don't give a fuck about they happily ever after. Fuck Tokyo and fuck Adonis. But like I said, I don't know what happens to Yazir and half sister. I'm pretty sure they go off and live happily ever after. You know, because they were meant to be together. They worked it out, whatever. And so, like I said, Bakari, because the ex-fiance and Indira, like, they were kind of arguing at his doorstep waiting for him to get there. And when he got there, he told ex-fiance, because at one point she was like, I understand, she had sent him a text like, I understand that the relationship ain't gonna work out, we not getting married, but can we still be friends? And he was like, sure. But at that time, he only said sure because he was in his feelings about what was going on with Indira. But when he got there and saw both of them, and the ex-fiance thinking she was going to go in the house and that he was going to send Indira away. And that's not what happened. It was actually the opposite. He kicked her out and was like, do you see that woman that's standing right there? That's the love of my life. That's the woman I'm going to always be with. And we can't be friends, basically. So, bye. So they end up, like, they got married. Because I'm thinking that's the end. So one more thing happened. So they did get married. Of course, she's pregnant. And then she found out that Javon, because the police had called her after they had found her mom. And, they were just looking for leads of what could have possibly happened. So there was a video, of course. And the detective was like, can you come down and see if you can identify who this person is? So she gets there and she notices that it's that night at the club. And she was like, he was supposed to go outside talking about his father, but he actually went outside to kill my mother and come back inside. But she's thinking this to herself, and hasn't said anything to the detective. She tells the detective, no, I don't know who that is. But then what was it? No, she had a driver. She had a driver take her to Javon's house because she wanted to confront him. And, he done pulled her inside, cussing her out because he's like, where the fuck you been as my fiance? She's like, I'm not your fiance. He looks at the ring on her finger, noticing that it's not his ring. And he's like, where the fuck that come from? She's like, I'm a happily married woman now. And the reason why she left the last time was because she found, I forgot about that. Damn, before she left to go be with her god sister, was it in Miami? I think it was in Miami or somewhere. But anyway, she went to go visit the god sister after Bakari was like, fuck you, we done with it, don't contact me no more. But before she had left, she had got an email from that same woman who was like, he tell me what to say if she call or when the text will do whatever. And she's like, basically, I'm tired of being a secret. I'm 4 months pregnant. That's what caused her to leave. Because at that point, she was basically just tired of it. Like, I keep trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. And this nigga, like, come to find out, he just been doing all this shit behind my back. So that's when she went to the sister. Boom, boom, boom. Whatever. Okay, so they had came back. That's what there we go. I got it. Because it's 3 books. I'm trying to remember everything off the top of my dome. Where was I? So when they get to the house, he's like, so what? So where you been at? And she's like, did you forget? I know that you cheated on me one. What was it? She was like, I know you cheated on me with not only this woman who claims to be pregnant, but you also cheated with my mama. You were having sex with my mother. You killed my mother. And this man started laughing and was like, I'm not letting you go nowhere, so what we gonna do? And you didn't tell the police it was me because I'm not in handcuffs right now. And you can't call Bakari because I'm pretty sure you wouldn't tell your husband. Because he revealed to her that he was selling drugs, that all that looking for a job shit was a lie. He just didn't want her to know that he was selling drugs because he thought that she would be ashamed of him. So he's laughing like, so you married the man whose drugs I'm selling in the street? And he's like, you're not leaving. So he chasing her around the house and shit, but she has a driver outside because she don't know how to drive. And Bakari calls the driver like, where's my wife? And he's like, well, we sitting at this location and she told me to drop her off and come back in 30 minutes. Bakari said, I know you're not stupid enough to leave my wife. He's like, no, I'm sitting right outside. I'm just waiting for her to come back out. And Bakari's like, what's that address? So when he gives it to him and realizes that it's the house that Javon had bought for them that they were supposed to be moving into, he hangs up on the man, and the man like, oh, rude. But of course that's his boss, so he ain't gonna do nothing. And then it's like, 20 minutes later, he see Bakari pull up behind him, and his eyes get big because he like, damn, what, something going on. So he tried to get out, but Bakari tell him to stay in the car. And he goes to the house and kick down the door, waving the fofo. And inside, Indira done killed Javon, because he chasing her around the house. She ran to the kitchen, grabbed 2 knives, stabbed that nigga up. And Bakari got her out of there, of course, cleaned up the scene. He like, you ain't got to worry about it. I got you, I got Noah, and I got our baby on the way. Which he did. And they lived happily ever after, and all was great. And from what I read in this book, in the epilogue, which pissed me off so bad, Adonis and Bakari were speaking again, but Tokyo had moved to Miami to be with him, and she was opening a store down there. I don't care. I just don't care. But that shit, it just made me so mad, because I'm just like, as siblings, I think that's what pissed me off the most. Like I said, I gave my little critiques in the end, because even though this is a re-release, I feel like you could go back and redo this. But also, like, if you're an author, you're probably ain't no probably, she's moving on to better things. Like I said, her writing has gotten so much better. So I just look at this series as a look at where I was to how my writing has grown. Because all in all, it's a great story when you think about it. Think about all the shit I just told y'all and all the information. Like, over 3 books. That's good information. Like, that's a good storyline. I just wished it could have been fleshed out more, given more detail, knowing to put in that you're changing the point of view, just stuff like that. Okay, that's all I got, because I'll be talking forever. But I missed you guys, and I hope to see you back next week. Bye-bye.